Today we'll be working on the 2012 Prius C. She has about 284,000 miles. The brakes started squealing. I already did one side. I figure I'll videotape the last one just in case people have not learned how to do their own brakes. Other than the brakes on this car, the suspension is definitely gone. You could hear full road noise. And remember guys, I have 284,000 miles on the same suspension. I'm crazy for that. So today we're going to need a compressor. You don't necessarily need it. You could do it all by hand. But if you have a compressor, you make life easier. So we got that. Other things you're going to need, you can use an air gun if you like. You can use the air ratchet if you like. You could do everything with a tire iron, which I'm not going to do. You need a socket with a 14-inch bit to take off the nuts by the caliper. You could use one of these, or you could get an actual, I guess it's called brake drum pushers. You got to put it in the cylinder to be able to put the pads on. Since the pads were used, the cylinder comes out. Now, free advertising for Duralast. Hopefully they throw me some money for this free advertising. If not, whatever. I use these pads, and I also use Toyotas. I didn't have a chance to go to Toyota, but these are definitely good. Certain brake pads for quieter ride and ultra low brake dust. So you see I have two left. So these are nice pads, you know, they got a lot of detail to them. So they're very good. Probably last you your whole life with these Priuses. You also need your keys, and you need a cooler full of beer. Don't drink too much while operating on your car. So now we'll come down to the car. Obviously, see the engine bay is completely dirty. I'll wait till the spring to clean it, but like I said, 284,000 miles. So you got to pull back this cover, step one. Behind here is the brake reservoir. It holds all the fluid. You got to take that cap off because you're not going to be able to push the cylinders in while trying to do your brakes. So don't forget to put it back on afterwards. I'm also going to do a tire rotation. As you see, I already jacked up the car. Car's floating a little bit. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the front wheels, put them in the back. They say every 5,000 miles. I try to do it every 10. 10,000 miles is okay. You know, I don't really want to do it every 5. To me, 5 is literally like a month and a half with this driving school. But let's continue forward. Alright, so the back tire I just rotated. I would show you how to change a tire, but if you don't know how to do it, you should not even bother touching the car at this point. A lot of people ask me which tires do I use. There's so many out there. I try to keep with the hybrid, low resistant tires, since I do a lot of driving. So these are the Champion, Firestone Champions. I was using the Goodyear Assurance. If I'm not mistaken, they were discontinued. Now, as we come down here, as you see, the brakes, very simple setup, just like most brakes. Rotors, they're okay. Probably the next time I'll be changing them. Quickly before I go to this, the tires, if you look just quickly, I got about 30,000 miles on them. So they're still really, really meaty tires. That's why I chose Firestones, because they're known to, for my opinion, they're known to last long. So as you see, what we're going to do is we're going to take the bottom bolt out. It's a 14. Make sure you turn to the left, not to the right, because you'll snap the bolt. Once we do that, we'll pop these pads out and push in the cylinder. Okay, so I have my 14-inch ratchet. I'm going to put it on the bolt back here. Just put a little bit of, if I can get on, a little bit of pressure. There we go. That's it, it's loose. Please hand tighten these very, very lightly. Years ago, I used to snap these like no tomorrow. And see, they're very small. And they're very fragile, surprisingly. Well, in my opinion. So a lot of people do their own. They take both off. I just pop that up. Now, as you see, here's the brake pads. So let's see how these look. If I can put them in front of the camera. So actually, this side isn't as bad as the right. The right side was completely gone. It was touching the metal like right around here. Let's check the other one. I don't work in my driveway because I got these nice pavers. What you see is just water, occasionally drip in my driveway, but I try to keep all work in the garage. So this one seems a little bit more worn. This one was in the back, so I'm past due, honestly. When you wait this long, honestly, is it worth it? I mean, the pads are $50–$60. You could get organics, which I highly don't recommend. You can get them for like 20 bucks. But, you know, you rock ceramics, you're going to get 120,000 off these Priuses or even more. So the question is it really worth grinding through your rotor? You know, then you got to take all this off and you got to take the caliper off just to change the rotor because you want to extend the life of your brakes. I definitely should get these, I forgot the word, I guess milled down, but it's obviously a holiday and figure just get them done. I'll probably just wait till the spring and just change the calipers, maybe just change the pads again. It's 60 bucks, it's well worth it. By then I'll probably have another 80,000 miles. The brakes in the back are drums, so I don't need to change them that often. So we're gonna go to the next step. So the next step would be to put this clamp on the back of there, and you're gonna push this right inside there. You're gonna twist it. You're gonna keep going. I have 3 hands, and keep going till this drum is all the way back. Now don't push these things in unless you remove that brake reservoir cover. If not, you could do damage to your system. So as you see, it's going in. Let's see if I can do it one hand. It's kind of hard. So as we twist, the fluid goes up and the cylinder goes in. I'm actually righty, I'm doing lefty, so it's not that difficult. It's a little hard with the camera in your hand, but it'll work. Once it's flat in the back, all the way in, you put your brake pads and you seal everything up. Okay, so as you see, it's pretty flush. What we're going to do next is we're going to take the pads. Once again, we're going to try to do it one-handed. So what you do is you put that in here. You can't see what I'm doing. I should start from the bottom. Put the bottom in first. Hold on. Okay, so put the top. I can't see. We put the top in first. All right. Fingers are nippy. Right. All right. I'm not gonna do it. All right. As you see, it goes right in. Unfortunately, holding the camera becomes a little difficult when you're trying to multitask because you're trying to look at the camera, you're trying to look at what you're doing, but you can't seem to do it right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the back one on. I'll use 2 hands so I could support myself very easily, and we'll go to the next step. So about 4 hours later, no, I'm just kidding. About 20 seconds later, I got the other side in. So honestly, if you know what you're doing, you could do it in 15-20 minutes. If you don't know, just take your time. You know, give yourself a good hour. Pay attention to what you're doing, because, you know, breaking stuff gets expensive. So now you're probably like, oh my god, it doesn't go on. So all you got to do is bend this forward. Then down here, you just got to pull out this, the thing that holds the pin. I forgot what they're called. There we go, slides back on. Now where I put the screw. Always pay attention to where you put things. Sometimes you end up with extra screws, and that's not a good thing. So then we'll hand tighten it first. Let's make sure it's on. Like I said, once you tighten that, tighten it very, very lightly with your socket wrench. I don't mind if you use your ratchet to take it off, your air ratchet, but I would rather just use one of these, hand pressure. So I got the wrench back on. I'm just gonna hand tighten it. As soon as it gets tight, that's it. One small little pull, and that's it. Your brakes are done. Next thing, you just put the tire on. Make sure you put your bolts on, and then before you leave, you come back up here and you put this cover back on. Now as you see, when I first started, I actually had no fluid. It was literally at the bottom. If I can zoom in right there. It was literally at the bottom. So I could probably use some fluid. What I'm going to do is, after I put this wheel on, you'll go to your car, you'll start it up. Do not put the car in drive. You will absolutely have no brake pressure. And if you're on an uphill or downhill or in front of a car or whatnot, you will roll away and you won't stop. So as you start the car, pump the brakes. They say about 3 or 4 times. Just do it till you feel the brake normal. Okay, so we're back inside the Prius C. Hold on. Alright, my wheel was locked. Alright, so let's just zoom in a bit on the mileage for you enthusiasts. And okay, I don't know what happened. Turned my car on and my Bluetooth came on. I don't know if it was recording. So we got 283,933 miles, about to hit 284. Yeah. As you see, my TSP sensor is on. That's pretty much it. TSP sensor, one of them is no good. I gotta get it checked out. Somebody has a video on that. Maybe I'll look that up and learn off you guys. So as we see, there's the brake pads. The brake over here. You're gonna see how low it goes. So let's zoom away a little bit. So you'll see how low it goes. Literally goes all the way to the bottom. That's why you have to pump your brakes until you get the fluid right about good. Alright, we're almost there. Alright, and that's pretty much it. Brake job done. 20 minutes maybe. Thank you. If you like my videos, subscribe. If you don't, sorry.